This meeting is now called to order. This is the Public Safety Committee meeting for Tuesday, January the 3rd. I am the Vice Chair, Councilwoman Xanthia Oliver, for the 3rd District. At this time, I will call the roll for those members of the committee first. Chris Johnson, excused. Councilman Chris Johnson is excused. Councilman James Spadola is excused. Councilman Albert Mills.
Present.
President Ernest Trippy Congo.
Here.
Councilman Xanthia Oliver here. A lot of people are still returning off of vacation. Very understandable. As a friendly, we have other council members here. Councilman McCoy.
Here.
Thank you. Councilman McCoy will be taking over this public safety meeting real soon. Thank you. As a friendly reminder, only members of the committee should be making motions and seconding them. Okay, with that being said, we're going to start with the agenda. They have changed the agenda. I think tomorrow is the Chief of Police last day, so he has requested to go first, and we have allowed it. Is the Chief of Police on the line?
Yes, I am, Committee Chair. Good evening.
Good evening. We have an update on year-to-date crime stats by the Wilmington PD.
Great. Thank you very much, Council Chair. With me in the room is Inspector Charles Emery, and also our Director of Policy and Communications, Police Policy and Communications, Dr. David Karras. So just going through the numbers, I know a press release just was sent out about an hour and a half ago, a joint press release by myself and the mayor, going over some of these numbers, which included year-end report we were able to put together, and then also our last CompStat report for the calendar year, which I also sent over to council, but it's out there for the public to read through our links. But to go through some of the numbers, it's great to see that coming out of an unprecedented time of 2021, 2022, where we both had a pandemic and we also had some social and civil unrest after the murder of George Floyd. It's starting to come back to some normalcy for the police department and the disruptions. Schools are coming back, social services, group violence intervention. We're able to get together our community meetings in person. So a lot of the things and successes that we saw from 2017 into 2019 before all these things happened, we're starting to get back to that. And if you go through the numbers, we're down 58% in murders from last year. And we're also down over 50% in murders from where we were 5 years ago. And we're down with every crime category with the exception of rape, where there's 6 rapes this year versus 5 last year, but substantially down almost 81% from where we were 5 years ago. Our shooting incidents are down 30% and shooting victims down 29%. And it's an over 50% reduction from where we started in 2017 with this methodology. And, overall crimes down 14%, and it's down 35% from 5 years ago. And then we're looking at, I call them misdemeanor thefts, which is break into vehicles, packages. These are the quality of life crimes. We always track them. You'll see that on the CompStat report, down 14% from last year, and then down almost 46% from where we were 5 years ago. I attribute a lot of this to the great work and with the community, with all our criminal justice partners, with our law enforcement partners, both federal and state, and also a lot of ideas that come from our leadership. And most of all, I want to thank the mayor and the administration for the time that I've been here and the support, and also members of council working with you, getting these grants to help supplement our strategies. I couldn't be more appreciative, more humble, and Madam Chair, thank you very much for allowing me to go first and report some of these numbers out. But I think a lot of it is self-explanatory, but it couldn't have been done without the great work of the men and women of this police department, people in the community, the faith-based community, the business leaders, our elected officials in council and then other elected officials in state and federal government, and obviously the mayor and his team. So I appreciate a chance to do that. I can go through all the numbers, but I think I hit on the high points. And is there anything else that you would like me to report out on, Madam Chair?
First, I'd like to see if there's any other council members that's on the line. I didn't ask that question. Okay. Do I have any? I did have one question, Chief. I'm looking at the auto theft for 2022. So that has also decreased. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it's down every year with the exception of, I think, 7 years ago, but it has gone down tremendously. And it's all part of the CompStat methodology. I think where we struggle this year, Matt, it deals with autos, but not auto theft. So we brought it down, but it's something that's plaguing the nation with the catalytic converters.
Right.
And because of the amount it costs to replace them and the chemicals that are in that, and their properties cost a lot of money, and certain vehicles get hit. And we're starting to make more arrests. We're working with our regional and national partners in law enforcement to try, anytime we make an arrest, to bring it back to where they're selling them. But we've made strides in bringing that down. But that's really driven. If you look at a report, we're up from a couple of years ago, but down from last year. And that deals with vehicles, but it's something that we pay close attention to. We have made arrests. You've seen it through Nixle alerts, but it's so easy for someone to get into a Sawzall, take that off, and then go off and sell it. But we're going after the people in the pawn shops that are buying this, and we're working with our state and local partners to build an intelligent network to try to see if we can reduce that. But auto thefts are down, catalytic converters are down, but it's still a big issue locally and throughout the United States.
Well, I only mentioned that because council, I just sponsored something regarding the Cadillac Further, so I just wanted to throw that in there.
Oh, good timing, ma'am.
Right, exactly. Do we have any council members that have any questions or comments for the chief of police? Councilman McCoy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I actually just wanted to find out whether or not the catalytic converter, the theft of it, is that classified as a misdemeanor because it's not actually taking the whole car?
Yeah, well, we usually go off, it's a threshold of the price. So if it goes up over $1,500, that makes it become a felony theft. The replacement of that and the materials that are in that, like chromium, radium, I'm gonna get that wrong, but these materials that are in it come out to more than $1,500 to replace it. So therefore, it's classified as a felony theft, and that's why you see them going up. It's not classified as misdemeanor theft.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
And good luck as the new public safety chair.
Councilman Mills?
Yes. Yes, good afternoon, Chief. I just wanted to say thank you, appreciating everything that you've done for the city, and wish you good luck out there in St. Louis, and especially the work you've done in reference to helping removing guns off the city. A lot of that goes unnoticed when a murder happens, but oftentimes they don't talk about all the guns that your officers have taken. So I just want to salute you and say thank you and wish you Godspeed and good luck out there in St. Louis.
Right, and thank you very much, Councilman. And a lot of that hard work, these officers each and every day using intelligence information, we've took record numbers of guns off the streets, and also made arrests on individuals. But I also want to thank, there's things that the state legislature put in. They put in legislation, Senate Bill number 7 last year that was signed by the governor, that actually helps out in this. So there is really good, reasonable legislation that gets put in to help keep communities safer without trying to arrest everyone, and making sure that we identify the individuals causing the problem. And a lot has to do with city council looking at things, and then some of our state legislators. So, and then the hard work of these officers identifying individuals that are carrying the guns, highest propensity for violence. And I'm really proud of these officers, and thank you, mentioning that every gun that we take off the street on arrest is an armed confrontation, and the de-escalation tactics and the way our officers do it to keep shootings at a minimal, and their training is very extensive, and it shows.
Thank you, Councilman Mills. We also have Councilman Bracy on the line. Do you have a comment or statement, Councilman Bracy?
No, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you for attending. Well, do we have anyone from the public that would like to say anything? Ms. Bev? Okay. Councilman McCoy? Say that, I'm sorry. I thought I saw your hand up.
Yes.
Yes,
I did.
Council.
All right, I just wanted to say, thank you again, Chief Tracy, for the time that you were here. I do, I do appreciate the persistence that it took. We had this conversation just a few days ago about how long it took for you to get into our uniforms and all of the hours that you had to put in to make certain that you became an officer of the law here within the city of Wilmington. So thank you for that. We do hope that that doesn't have to happen again. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do something about that. But like I said, thank you for that persistence and good luck to you and your family. I know they may not be leaving off as quickly, but good luck to you in St. Louis. And I hope everything works out well for you.
And thank you, Councilman McCoy, and how this community really came together and accepted me and my family coming outside and worked together and welcome us. It couldn't be better for a family coming in. And I thank you, and it was great seeing you the other day. And thank you for your kind words.
Well, Chief Tracy, I'd like to thank you for the time that you served here, and you have personally assisted my family with various situations, so I was so humbled by that. But I appreciate, as the Councilman Mills said, the work you have done. I know personally some guns you have taken off the street in the 3rd District, and not just in the 3rd District, throughout the city of Wilmington. And I'd like to thank you personally for the time you've spent here, and I wish you the best of luck in St. Louis, and you will be missed. And yeah, I'd like to tell your wife, I really appreciate her and your children, their personalities, and how y'all just blended here in the city of Wilmington. And kudos to all the outstanding work you've done. I mean, this is definitely not an easy job. Anytime dealing with the epidemics of various things that's out there that the police have no control of, but you get, like city council, we get blamed for everything, and we have no control of much of the things we get blamed for. But with that being said, I'd just like to thank you for all the hard work you've done, and kudos, and thanks again.
And thank you for the partnership. I really appreciate it. Thank you to council. Really appreciate it. Gonna miss everyone. I'll still keep an eye on everything that's going on here, as I'm sure you're gonna see how I'm doing out in St. Louis. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge. But this place is left in really good hands. These police officers have really responded to this methodology, and we're gonna see better things, all of you working together. And I think it's an exciting time to transfer this leadership over and to the next people are gonna step up and take this role and continue down this path to keep reducing violence and working with the community, and you as the elected officials and the administration in there. So I appreciate it. Thank you for this time, and what a way to finish this, to talk about these type of numbers. Now we can build off them, and I think there's so much more better things with this leadership in the city for our community and our constituents. So thank you very much, man.
Thanks a lot, and whoever does your grant writing over there, tell them to keep up the good work, because it helps the citizens of Wilmington to not have to come out of our pocket.
They're remaining in place, so that will continue.
Thanks again.
Thank
You
you.
have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye. Next, we have presentation that we've been waiting for some time. Presentation on safety locks for public buildings by Ms. Karen Corzo. Would you step up and do your presentation, please? Okay, sure,
And Madam Chair, thank you for inviting me.
sure.
Very happy to be here. I'm Karen Cortez. I am the managing partner of Core Safety Products. Core Safety Products is the national distributor for RhinoWare lockdown systems for campus safety products. Campus Safety Products is located in North Carolina. It's a woman-owned, minority-owned company. It's the manufacturer and inventor of RhinoWare. So RhinoWare is a patented, one-of-a-kind lockdown system that makes any room a safe room in the event of an active shooter situation. So I wanted to show you exactly how it works. It is also the only product out there that is completely code compliant, which means it meets all life safety codes, building safety codes, fire codes, active shooter codes. There's nothing else out there that does exactly what this does. So the way that this would work, if you imagine that this is the door, this metal piece is RhinoWare. It's made of military-grade steel, and it makes that, which makes it virtually indestructible. So if there's an active shooter situation, whether it be in a school, in an office building, in a judicial building, any type of airport, any type of location where somebody needs to be able to lock down immediately, all it takes is a flick of a wrist and you're locked down. Now, this door is going to be able to withstand up to 40,000 pounds of pressure. And what makes it fire code compliant is the fact that there's single motion egress. So if something happens, somebody would, if you put it this way, even a 5-year-old can do this. You flick it, you're locked down, and then you open your door again. Typically, you would keep the door locked until first responders come, and then the first responders are able to get in the door because there's a patented key down here. So you would tell people, don't go back out into the hallway until somebody unlocks this door, because it could be the shooter saying, oh, it's safe to come out now. So, so again, all of the codes, National Fire Protection compliant, code compliant, these are all the fire codes, ADA compliant. What makes it ADA compliant is the fact that somebody, this is between, it's got to be between 38 and 46 inches. So if somebody were in a wheelchair or whatever, they would still be able to do this. You don't have to have, you do not even need to have the use of your hands to be able to engage.
Excuse me, now I see it from the opposite side, how do I unlock it? Now, I saw it from that end.
So it would, now
It's-
you're locked
it's
down.
locked.
That's it. So
Okay.
this is installed in Fort Knox. It is at the UN headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. It's at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. It is at the largest school district in Dallas County, the Fort Hood School District. We've got 9,000 doors locked down there. It is it's at Pepsi, it's at Google, we have a list of all the different places where we are. So we also have a video of guys at Fort Knox trying to break the door down. So first they try by kicking the door down. Next they try by using a hatchet, and then they use a battering ram, and they're unable to break through the door. The only thing that they're able to do is break out the surrounding structure that holds the door. And that's only because it was a wooden frame. If it was the steel frame, it would not do anything. You know, a lot of times people say, well, what about if somebody, it's a shooter and they come out and they're able to shoot something out? Because of the way that this is constructed and the way that this is designed, even if they came and they shot out the locks, this is going to keep the door standing. If they came and they shot out the hinges, it's going to still keep the door standing. So anybody behind the door is going to be safe. It can be attached to any, it doesn't matter if it's inward swinging, outward swinging, if it swings both ways, if the handle's on the left or the right. You would not install it on a hollow core door, but you can install it on any other type of door.
Question, if there's an active shooter, he can shoot the door. I mean,
can
the
shoot-
bullets
he
can go
can-
through the door. but they just can't unlock. Is that what you're saying?
The bullets would not go through the door if it's a solid door. That's why you would not put this on a hollow core door.
Gotcha.
Because the bullets would, and so then it
Doesn't
it wouldn't work.
Okay, it's, so that needs to be installed on a certain door.
Most every door here is going to be, and in all public buildings are going to be, in order to be able to meet fire code, they're going to be solid core. So we've already presented to Grover Engel, who is the state fire marshal. We've presented this to many of the police chiefs. I was kind of hoping that Chief Tracy would stay on and watch this. And everybody has said, yes, this is something that we need, and this is something that we would approve of. I mean, one of the things that a lot of people would say, if they're saying they want to get some type of additional security, then they put different types of products on. They might add a deadbolt, or they might add some type of thing. But this is a lockdown system. It is not a barricade system, and that is why it's fire code compliant. And the single motion egress is the other reason why it's fire code compliant. Because if you put something on the doors that is not fire code compliant and the fire marshal comes back through, they will make you take that all off.
Well, I've read, your presentation, and I was just looking at all the various companies that, have used this product, and I'm very impressed. I mean, nowadays with all the violence, you need something like this. I mean, it's no one answer to nothing, but anything that can be added is great. And with that being said, we have Councilman Johnson on the line. Councilman McCoy, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Actually, you already answered the very first question I had about the certain type of doors. So I thank you for that. My other question is, you stated on here it says the Rhino-Ware products are present. Wanted to find out whether or not are there different products, or all these actual places have that type of lockdown system.
That is a very good question. And so this company was started in 2014. This is version 4. Prior to the pandemic, we had version 3, and that was not fire code compliant. The pandemic, the beginning 2020, gave us the opportunity to redesign. And we talked with the U.S. fire marshals and said, what different things need to be done in order to make it fire code compliant. They gave us a list of 9 items to check off, and one of them was the single motion egress. So if perhaps you have a door that has, has a lot of glass and you're not replacing it, you would not be able to put this on there. You would put version 3. Version 3, from here, from these 2 screws down is version 3. And with this, the same thing. You do that and you're locked down. Mm-hmm. All you need is a 10-inch kick plate to be able to install the version 3. Another one of the products is Rhino Connect. It's in beta testing right now. It is an electronic notification system that will interface with any of your physical security emergency notification systems. And so that anytime the system is engaged, it's going to notify security personnel, police, fire, whoever you designate as the people you want to know that a lockdown is occurring. And what it tells them also is which doors have been locked down. So they're going to be able to know when they come into a building, okay, these people are safe, these people are safe, these people are safe. So it's going to speed up their reaction time when they're coming in if there's an active shooter currently still in the building.
Okay. May I ask another question?
Sure, Councilman McCoy.
Thank you. So my follow-up is just basically to clarify, what is the difference between a lockdown and barricade system?
A barricade system is what they teach the kids to do in school now, which is gather up all the desks, gather up all the chairs, push everything up against the door, and then your first responders cannot get in there. And that's a problem. So that's why this is a lockdown system and not a barricade. Barricade systems are not fire code compliant.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I thought that there was a mechanism that was considered a barricade system. I understood
yes.
barricading, but okay. I see
Yeah,
what
so there's like a wide variety. There are other products out there. Some are just like a bar that you're putting across the door, and you might store it on the wall. And that makes absolutely no sense, because if you're thinking about people in a panic situation, I mean, they are not in the right mindset to be able to think clearly about, oh, where was that piece? How am I supposed, you know, they're shaking, they're trembling. And that's why this, again, is just, I mean, it's simply elegant.
Thank you.
Councilman Mills?
Yes, Madam President. I guess my question was, is there a way it can be done remotely? Just say if we know the shooter's on the first floor, could it be done electronically where we can click all of them for the second floor? That way the shooter can't get to
Good
the second
question.
floor, something like that.
That is a good question, and I get that all the time, every time. No, because you would run the risk of locking people out. So, you know, if, for instance, you know, we're presenting to a lot of schools. So if you have kids who are in the bathroom or kids who are in the library or whatever, you don't want, or just happen to be in the hallway, you don't want to lock them out. So if somebody in another area of the school, without visual of what's going on, locked everything down, then you could put some people in danger.
Councilman Johnson or Council President Congo, Councilman Bracy, does anyone have any questions regarding the campus safety product?
No, I don't have any, thank you.
Sure.
One thing that I would add, if we're like talking about schools, there was funding that was allotted to the schools through the CARES Act, and pieces of it were specifically allocated to schools for the safe, in 3 different tranches. They're called ESSER funds, and those ESSER funds expire on September 30th of 2024, and those funds, there were billions and billions of dollars that were allocated. Those funds can be used to install this because this makes a school safe, so that it meets the safe return to school, and it also addresses the children's mental health. Because I've been in so many schools, and if you ask their security people, have you noticed a difference in the children's mental health? Every single one of them will, oh yes, absolutely. You know, just being the isolation and the problems that they encountered while they were at home have now translated into coming into the schools.
Question, what is the cost of one per door?
So the version 4 is $500, and then there's the installation, which depending on if you have us do the installation, if you have people who can do the installation, you know, that's you know, that might range maybe well, it depends on who's doing it. It might be $100 or $150 or $175. And then the version 3 is $100 less.
So just say if your company was doing it, what would the total price be?
If we were doing it, we would probably be doing $175 per door, because our company is actually out of North Carolina, so that we'd have to bring the team up here.
So you're saying it would be six,
It's in the 6s, depending on the installation fee. So $500 for the unit plus installation,
so you're saying roughly $675?
or less.
Okay,
I mean, if they're doing it for $125, then it would be $625.
okay, that's a 77. That's not a bad price for this type of safety line. Councilman McCoy?
Okay, thank you. So you can get subcontractors to go. You can ship these here and have someone else install them on your behalf? Is that what you're saying?
What we do is we certify them. So we would still bring a team up, and we would start installing with your team and train them on, you know, essentially on-the-job training, and certify them, because there are just little bits and pieces that you need to make sure are properly done. How deep into the floor are you going to, you know, drill the hole? How are they measuring it? You want to make sure that they get all of their measurements right. The distance from how far is the door from the floor, and little bits and pieces like that. So what we actually would do is come in and do a site survey, and take note of every single door where you need this to be installed. And it's the inward or outward, left or right. How far is it from the floor? What's the distance, the handle to the floor? What's the distance, the floor to the bottom of the door? What is the material of the door? What is the material of the floor? So take note of all of those bits and pieces, and then we're able to, you know, put together the order.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes, Miss Cortez, thank you very much for coming. I wish I could be there in person. I certainly I appreciate this, especially in the wake of what we're dealing with shootings and mental health awareness in high schools. So thank you very much, and I guess I look forward to hopefully seeing the projects implemented soon in this area more widespread, so we have safety in our public buildings.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Another question, I'm just thinking, when you said the schools, because I'm thinking about Councilman Mills working and the prisons. Even with all these names, is this a patent?
This is
I
a
mean, 'cause it could
patented
be-
product, yes.
I guess the reason why I'm asking that, so these companies could also have maybe a device that they use in a prison. So I was just trying to, when I was just looking at him, excuse me, thinking of,
Prisons, any type of building where you have the need to be able to lock down in a safe room. So, so prisons, courtrooms, somebody's not happy with the sentence and they decide that they want to take it out on the judge. So we're going into judges' chambers in a lot of areas. Schools, colleges, pre-Ks, you want to take care of the kids who cannot take care of themselves. At the airports, they're not locking down the areas where the public are necessarily. They're locking down the areas where the employees are.
gotcha.
We're in all of the casinos in Atlantic City, going into Las Vegas.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? And Ms. Cortez, one thing I would like to say, this will be ran on TV, so individuals on here, but they get to see this on a regular, because this channel 22 is ran regularly.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Can
right,
I,
so-
can I say my phone number? If somebody wants to get in contact with
Of
me?
course.
Okay, so to get in contact with me, my phone number is 302-544-0684. And my email address is Karen, Karyn, at core, C-O-R-E, safety, S-A-F-E-T-Y, products, P-R-O-D-U-C-T-S.us. And if you go to coresafetyproducts.us, it's a Vimeo channel, and it's got videos of that, the guys at Fort Knox trying to break down the door, the unit in action, testimonials.
Okay.
So,
Well, we have anyone from the public that would like to ask any questions? No. Okay, I can tell, you've done a great job. I know you've been waiting for a while, but it was the holidays, and I can see your best friend, because I see your advertising. No, good job, I appreciate you coming out, sorry for the delay, but I think it's a great product.
I appreciate the time so much. Thank you.
Thanks, all right. And we will put your name and number on the screen for the future, so they can have it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure, you have a good one.
You too.
Thanks a lot, Bev. I appreciate you. So with that being said, I think that's the end of the agenda. It's been a pleasure. Happy New Year's. Welcome back, 2023. And is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second, sorry.
It's been properly moved in second. Meeting adjourned. Thanks again.
Thank you, everyone.